Hey guys, I'm Bob once again. Welcome to the Math channel. In the last video, we actually talked about ratios and before and after and some of the steps that we have to obey before we actually solve the question. Well, for the last video, the problem is actually very simple, but in this question, for this video, in this question itself, we have to make use of these three steps to actually solve the problem, which is we identify the same elements. What do we mean by that? Basically, we need to seek out this particular element that is the same or that remains the same before and after. All right, it could be the number of girls in the class before and after remains the same, or it could be the total number of students in the class remains the same before and after. So first thing first, we identify the same element, and followed by that we make use of this same element in both before and after to adjust our ratio, and finally we solve the problems. So let's go to this question, right? All right, if you can see, the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls in class A was 3:2, and the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls in class B is 3:4, and the number of girls in both classes was the same. What was the ratio of the number of boys in class A to the total number of boys in both classes? Well, usually ratio, this is sort of like not exactly before and after kind of question, but first thing first, it has a very similar way of solving the problems. So the first thing that we do is to identify the same element. So in this problem itself, the same element is actually this part down here. The number of girls in both classes was the same. All right, so we make use of this very important information to solve this question itself. So first thing first, we write down the ratio of class A and class B first. So class A and class B, all right. So the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls in class A is 3:2. So we have boys and girls. This 3:2, all right. And then we have the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls in class B is 3:4. So same thing, write down the ratio of boys to girls is 3:4. All right, like as you can see, all right, in the ratio itself, either after we identify the same element, which is in this case the number of girls in both classes was the same. All right, this is the same element. The next thing that we do is to adjust our ratio. So how do we go about adjusting a ratio? We adjust the ratio based on this particular information that is given to us. The number of girls in both classes was the same. So if we're to look at class A is 2 units and class B is 4 units. Well, the thing about it is that because the number of girls in both classes was the same, our objective is to make the units, all right, for girls the same, so that you can actually compare class A and class B. All right, right now the units are not the same because 2 units of girl in class A is equals to 4 units of girl in class B. So because of this very important information, which is the number of girls in both classes were the same, we change, okay, the units, all right, to the same units for the girls. So so the common multiple for 2 and 4 is 4. So what we will do is that we will change this side on the class A side, all right, we will multiply by 2 to both sides, and we end up with the new ratio 6:4, the number of boys in class A to the number of girls in class A. So now you can see that you realize that the number of the units of girls in class A is the same as the unit of girls in class B, and then we adjusted the ratio. And last but not least, we solved the problem. So what is the problem? So the problem was is what was the ratio of the number of boys in class A to the number of total number of boys in both classes. So the number of boys in class A is 6, and the total number of boys is how much? 6 plus 3 is actually 9. All right, so here's the answer. 6 is to 9. Okay, so this is class A. Number of boys in class A to the total, all right, boys, all right, and we simplify it, and this is the answer. So there you go. This is what I mean by identifying the same element. So identifying the same element basically means that, okay, we have the number of girls in both classes was the same. So we identify this same element that's the same in both classes. The next thing after we identify the same element, we make use of this same element to adjust our ratio, okay? So we know that the number of girls in class A is the same as the number of girls in class B. So what we do is that we change this ratio itself. So instead of 2, we change it to 4 because the number of girls is same in both classes. All right, then after that we solve the problem. All right, solve the problems and we get this particular answer, which is 2:3. So there you go. It's a very, very easy steps, all right, for you to solve this kind of ratio before and after problems. All right, you identify the same elements, adjust the ratio, and you solve the problem. All right, if there's any comments, you can comment in the comment section below. I'm Bob signing off from here. Goodbye, guys. Thank you for watching.